So, hi everyone. Sorry for the inconvenience. We had minor technical issues. Yes, it will be starting now, and Professor Anderie will stream his presentation this way because we had issues with that, but that's okay. Just ask in the chat if something is not easily visible. So I will give to Professor Anderie now. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for the introduction, and also apologies from my side. I have to present in the editing mode of PowerPoint. Nevertheless, the presentation is already uploaded as a PDF file. So if you're interested in the stuff, you can also do it via the PDF file. So what I will talk to you in the, let's say, next 25 minutes is about the Frankfurt Game Studies 2, what is about monetization of games. I'm a professor at the Frankfurt University of and I'm focused on business information systems, Wirtschaftsinformatik in the German language. And my focus is on games, gamification, AI, digital leadership and transformation, e-commerce and digital business. Reason why I'm focused on games is that I've been working with Sony PlayStation, Bandai Namco, and Atari for many years in leading management functions around the world before I became a professor for business information systems. The research findings I will share with you have been conducted with a research team, in essence, students from my university. The structure of the presentation is straightforward, so I will give you a brief introduction. We will do a sneak, let's say, look back onto the Frankfurt Game Studies 1, then the focus is on Frankfurt Game Studies 2. I will run you through the research questions, the study results, and if we've got the time, there will be a brief analysis and excursus on the games market in China on AI. About 3 years ago, we said, okay, in Germany, you can study game design at, let's say, about 50 universities. You can study coding, computer programming, working with engines at about 100 universities, but nobody's really focusing on the money side of games. And since we are based in Frankfurt, it's worth to focus on onto business models and monetization models. So for those of you who have not looked yet deeper onto the monetization side of games, just a quick wrap up. In essence, there are 6 primary monetization models of games: subscription-based, advertising-based, affiliate networks, sales, transaction fee-based, and freemium. And to these 6 primary monetization models, there are 30 sub-models. And today we will focus on 3 areas. All transaction fee-based monetization models, such as in-game items or in-game purchases, in-app purchases, loot boxes, and the so-called skin trading. I assume most of you are core gamers, so you know that Counter-Strike Go is a very important game, not only for esports, but also when it comes to in-game items. So you know what the first person view is and what the impact is of the gameplay when you come up with a flash weapon skin. And despite that those weapon skins are really flashy and good looking, there's a marketplace behind this. In the case of Counter-Strike, this is focused on the Steam community market. So I just brought you here some images. The water elemental clock was originally sold for $11 and we have seen microtransactions for $38. Microtransaction is a terminology that describes the purchase of an in-game item. And there are other in-game items, such as the Neo-Noir, originally sold $57. We have seen market prices at the Steam community market for $137. And last not least, another image, Neon Rider, was sold originally for $137 and has seen a price of $450. So skin trading and trading of in-game items, it's a really important market. One of my students wrote his bachelor thesis on Counter-Strike, and what he did is that he analyzed 2.6 billion microtransactions that were conducted on Counter-Strike at the Steam community market, and you will see that the weapon skins are clearly the dominant in-game items that people like to buy. So in essence, this chart shows all in-game items that have been traded on the Steam community market. The peaks varies on promotion activity, sales activities. If you're interested in the study, in that bachelor thesis, just drop me an email. I will forward it to you. My contact details you can find at the end of the presentations. So quick look back onto the Frankfurt Game Studies 1. This is a study we presented 1 year ago, almost day and date 1 year ago. And this was about monetization models and cloud gaming. This study is available, unfortunately, only in the German language. But if you're interested in the stuff, just write through the Google Translator or Deep Erland, you can see the findings. In a nutshell, I will sum this up for you anyway. So we ask about cloud gaming. Is it technically satisfactory in Germany? Because we have the challenge with low data transfer rates and latencies. We ask, do you like subscriptions for gaming platforms more in comparison for subscriptions of individual games such as World of Warcraft? We ask the gamers, do you accept in-game items in general? And then there were 4 other research questions. One was on the willingness to buy in-game items for free-to-play games in comparison to pay-to-play games. We asked about the willingness to purchase in-game items with a focus on pay-to-play games. We were checking whether there's a correlation between the play time and the in-game items purchased, and then more helicopter questions. If you have subscribed to home entertainment such as Netflix or a streaming platform like Apple Music, have you got a higher affinity for cloud gaming, for instance, PlayStation Now? All these analyses are displayed in charts at the study. What I want to do is to wrap up a couple of findings of the first Frankfurt Game Study. In general, subscribers to Netflix do not show an increased affinity for cloud gaming. You know, just that they work with a cloud service and home entertainment does not mean that they like it for games. And in terms of regarding the in-game items, 54% of the gamers accepted in-game items. Bear this number in mind. I give you a number in a second, 1 year later. Then the terminology Netflixification of the games industry, what in essence describes that everything or loads of the stuff will turn to subscription, is a good terminology. And we found out in terms of the spending levels that gamers who spend between 100 and 200 euro a year on in-game items also buy pay-to-play games. This was not really clear originally. Because there could have been also cannibalization of this effect. But this is not the case. If somebody is buying pay-to-play games, he's also willing to buy in-game items. I'm not going into the technical challenges of Germany in terms of latencies. What is more important is that in-game items are increasingly offered by the companies, by the publishers via artificial intelligence. And that the user acceptance for gaming platforms in terms of subscriptions is higher in comparison to individual games such as World of Warcraft, and also that the willingness to buy in-game items increases the longer the gameplay session starts. So this is a quick wrap-up on the study that was presented 1 year ago. So this night at 12 o'clock, we have uploaded the Frankfurt Game Studies 2. You also find it on the web for free. And this is about AI-powered monetization in the games industry. And here we have narrowed the study a little bit more down. So we ask about monetization through in-game items, microtransactions, more into details, focus on the user acceptance and the spending level. We ask about, hey, do you accept the monetization for in-game items and via microtransactions with artificial intelligence or not? And then did a sneak analysis on China, and what is the situation in the Chinese marketplace. For those of you who have not looked yet onto currency systems and game economies, just a quick wrap up on some basics. Each video game has got the so-called inner economy and an external economy. The inner economy, this is about health points, gold, stuff like this. The external economy deals with the revenue you are generating when you sell a game or when you sell in-game items. What about the expenses, the cost structures? And when you merge those, you can talk about a hybrid economy, so-called hybrid economy. There are four terminologies that are important. One is the so-called single currency game. For instance, if you want to run a game where you sell lemons, the lemons are your currency that are traded. This is called a single currency game. But let's say in this game, what would be boring, you also want to sell other fruits and vegetables, peaches or whatever. To make it possible to trade and deal with the stuff, a dual currency model is necessary. So you create a virtual dollar, virtual euro, or whatever, and then you have created out of your single currency game a dual currency game. There's another terminology that is important, or two other terminologies, that is so-called soft currency. This is a gold in a game, for instance, a gold in World of Warcraft. And you cannot sell the gold legally in World of Warcraft, but as the intention, as a publisher, you want that the people spend hard money, real money, language onto the game, and this works pretty much well. Just a quick sneak and wrap up for those of you who have not looked into detail. So when I run you through the findings of the presentation, a couple of definitions, terminologies. They are so-called decorative items. These are weapon skins. They are functional items. These are items that improve your gameplay skills. Faster car, stronger weapon, whatever. There are time reductions. If you do not have the time but the money to pay for reduced game time, this is also considered to be an in-game item. There's additional content, and then you might remember the loot box discussion we had 3-4 years ago. We also asked people about the loot boxes. The study itself was conducted between December 2020 and February 21. 714 core gamers participating in the study. Key research questions have been on microtransactions, spending levels, and playing time and genres. And then the question, do you accept AI in video games with a focus on selling the in-game items or not? So let's start with the basic stuff. So we ask, have you already made microtransactions? 70% of the people said yes. This is an increase by 16% compared to last year's study. So people get more and more used to buy in-game items and pay for them via microtransactions. Then we ask, how much money did you spend? About 56% that it's up to 50 euro. And then very important, 15% of the people spent more than 200 euro on the on in-game items. So very important target group. On the questions, do you spend on average more for microtransactions in free-to-play games in comparison to pay-to-play games? It's clearly the case that people that download a free-to-play game know that to have to pay for the game via microtransactions or the purchase of in-game items. But what you also see on this slide, 24.7%, that by pay-to-play games are also willing to buy in-game items. Then on the right-hand side, you will see that 26% of the people are prepared to spend more than 200 euro a year on in-game items. Then on the questions, if you've got to choose, if you've got the option to buy loot boxes or direct or in-game items via direct purchase, it's also very clear people prefer direct purchase of in-game items over loot boxes. And this is particularly important for the older gamer, 50 years plus. You see, they always prefer a direct purchase because they've got the money usually, and they do not like, let's say, the playing around with buying a loot box where you do not really know what you get for your money. This is something you see also in other consumer goods areas like liquor and spirits and stuff like this, but this would go too far. Then here on the lower side, you see if you've got the option to buy a game that includes all in-game items, 63% have said, yes, this is what I would prefer, but you've got 36% who said, hey, no, it's okay for me to download a free-to-play game and then buy in-game items. What we then what we did afterwards is that we narrowed this a little bit more down on target groups, platforms, games, and genre. And the finding is that clearly female gamers tend to spend more in the range of up to 50 euro and up to 100 euro, whereby from the range from 100 euro onwards is more the male that spend more money, and on average it can be said that men spend more, or male gamers spend more money on microtransactions in comparison to women. Then we ask about the frequency of play, and it's clearly the case. The more frequent gamers are playing game, the higher the willingness to spend on micro transactions. You know, it could have been the other way around, that people get frustrated, but it's not the case. The longer, the more frequently they are playing games, the higher the amount they are spending. The same with the duration. You know, somebody who plays 4 hours of video games, it could have been that he is upset and frustrated and stops buying in-game items as all, but it's not the case. The longer the gamer is playing, the higher the amount he's spending on in-game items. With the age group, it's a little bit different. The age group that is willing to spend the most money on in-game items is between 20 and 29 years old. This is a mix of the time they have got to play the games and the money they have got to purchase the games. Platform users means in terms of platform, console gamers tend to spend more money on in-game items than PC gamer or mobile or casual gamers. And then we ask on the various items, what do you buy actually? Decorative items, functional items, time reductions, additional contacts, or loot boxes. And it's clearly that decorative items in Germany with the core gamers, the one that they really spend the most money on, and this is really the items they like to buy. Then there was a question about the genre. You know, we asked about in-game items, microtransactions in the genre shooter, sports, skill-based, jump and run, battle royale, role-playing, simulation, strategy, and racing. And clearly there are 4 genres where people are willing to spend the most on in-game items. This is clearly the sports segment. The people prepared to spend more than 200 euro is clearly in the sporting game area. And then we narrowed it a little bit more down into AI in terms of AI-powered monetization. So we asked them, if you're stuck in a gameplay session and do you want paid in-game items be recommended to you? And the answer has been no. 72% of the German core gamers don't want this. And this is a marketing challenge for the marketing departments of the developer and the publishers, because both Sony and Activision have put in patents where they have registered mechanisms that in-game items are offered to gamers via artificial intelligence. So challenge for the marketing department. A controlling question has been, you receive suggestions for paid in-game items during the gameplay. Do you like it or not? Again, 77% of the people have said they don't want this. This is pay to win. Then there was a question about the matchmaking. When you are put together in a game lobby with the people, do you like it or do you accept it if somebody shows up with decorative items? With decorative items, no problem. For most of the people, it's okay, or they don't care. It's not really a surprise. If somebody shows up with a functional item, a stronger weapon, for instance, people do not like it. This is in the range up to 70%. People do not like it. For the marketing department, again, it's important when you ask about the playing style, with big data, you can analyze what is the playing behavior of the gamers in the game. What is your individual game play? This is okay then for the gamers. They appreciate if this is done. Controlling question, they even would accept microtransactions that help them to improve their playing style. So not really functional items, stronger weapons, stronger car, but somebody that in-game items that helps them to become better is really appreciated by the guys. I'm looking onto the watch here, but I'm in the time frame more or less. Then there was a question about equal purchase power. Would it be okay for you if somebody who has got a lower purchase power, that he pays less for the in-game items? Not really. Yes, people want fairness in the game, but they also expect that people are paying the same price for the same in-game items. And then also very important here, is it okay for you if a player profile of you has been created? This is big data analysis, has got to do with data security. We have got GDPR in Germany. For most of the people, this is equal. 50% don't care or like it, 50% don't like it.
Mr. Anderie?
Yeah.
I would like to offer that we go on the wrap-up stage because the next talk will start shortly. If that's okay for you.
Okay, give me 30 more seconds. Quickly on China, yes, you see that Tencent is invested in 3 of the top 5 publishers. So they are using AI already. And this is pretty much it of the presentation. There's a YouTube channel, there's a web page. You can contact me on my website. And now we can go to the breakout session.
Yes. All right, let's do this then.